You're telling me you get paid to throw a hammer, but you feel like you're oppressed? I mean, come on, man. What are you talking about? Welcome, everybody, to the Tyler Fischer Show. Happy Monday. Gosh, is it good to see you. And, of course, that was Whispery Joe Biden. That was whispery old Joe Biden. You're doing fine. Listen, I hope you're having a good day. I need more time. I am loving this new, well, it's not new, but very whispery, very serious. I mean, talk about leaning in. It's almost like a refined Bill Clinton. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. No, I did not do it. It's kind of like that. Kind of like, I voted for the policy. These are my policies. Maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't. Nobody's watching him. I ask everybody on stage every night. I go, hey, did you see this new press conference? Did you see Joe in Russia? Did you see that? And they go, no, we're not watching that. And I'm in liberal New York. So I don't know who's watching them, but I love watching those videos. Hope you guys are having a great day, guys and gals, and everybody in between. That's my version of LGBTQIA+. Guys, gals, everybody in between. That covers the whole gamut. Before we get into it, guys, our next show for patrons, private stand-up Zoom comedy show, will be this Wednesday, June 30th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you are a patron, you will be, if you'd like to be, in my next sketch, an upcoming sketch that I will film after the Zoom show. And the whole sketch will be over Zoom. I'm not going to say what it is. will say it involves my Bill Burr impression. And all of you guys who will be offering some funny little tidbits. So I'll end the Zoom show. And then if you have to leave or you don't want to be in the video or whatever it is, that's fine. Whoever wants to stick around, your face will be in a sketch that will be going out on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Bing Bong, Blink, Shit Shot, Frick Frack, Tinder, all the apps. So I'm excited. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'd love to have you guys there. And those are just that's one of the perks of joining Patreon.com/Tyler Talks. You get to be in a sketch and get the shows, and I give you guys as much as I can, and it's just gonna keep growing. I think we're up to 67, and when we hit 70, like I said, bonus episode once a month to start. My goal eventually is if I can put a bonus episode but that's all, folks, a bonus episode out every week. So but I'm going to start, I don't want to bite off more than I can fuck, you know what I'm saying? It's a sweaty one today, guys. Holy cow, okay? Holy cow, Lane Rao. It is a sweaty one in New York today. We got a heat wave. It's like 95, feels like 300 with humidity and the fires and the gunshots and the assault. It feels like really 300 degrees. I mean, and then being unemployed and having those added pressures, it really feels like 400 to 500 degrees in New York today. But we're managing. And how are you holding up? You guys got a heat wave? Let me know how hot it is where you are. Leave a comment. Tell me how hot it is where you live. So, did you see this hammer thrower in the Olympics? I don't know if it was a qualifying game or whatnot, but I saw a clip. What's her name? Barry something or other protested during the what's it called? The national anthem. That's what it's called. The national anthem. And now, just to be clear here, this gal throws a hammer for a living, and she protested and said it was offensive that they played the national anthem. During her, I think she won third place in the old hammer toss, but let's go. I mean, what are we doing? This woman makes a living from throwing a hammer. The privilege to throw a hammer for a living. I would only imagine tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. She's a dogfish pony soldier. Big bucks. She's making big bucks to throw a hammer. I mean, this is what I see. You know what I always think of is the dog chasing the car. Okay, we've got the car now. Okay, and what are you doing? What are you doing with it? You're just turning your back in protest because you're so oppressed. I mean, think about it. Some people actually use hammers for a living. They actually have a hammer and they spend 14 hours and they go home. Maybe you live in a part of the country where you get paid 8 cents a day to just hammer all day. People are building schools and hospitals and buildings and sheds and shacks, and they come home and their hands are bloodied and blistered, and the last thing they could do is look at a hammer. She takes a hammer and she goes, She literally takes a hammer, goes, yeah, I don't want anything to do with this, and throws it and makes a living. And I know the hammer looks different than a classic hammer, but it's a similar thing, right? You throw it around. Yeah, I mean, you could get a nail in if you hit that over and over. It's just different. It's a different force, right? It's more of a metal sphere and a thing, but either way, she makes a living throwing hammers, and I'd say America's in a pretty good place when you can be a woman of color making a living by throwing a hammer, okay? I mean, would you rather be in China? Okay, China, excuse me, they're doing bad things, very bad things in China, and there's lots of names we could call it, China or even China, right? Or even like Asian place or whatever. Excuse me. But would you rather live there? Right? I mean, women are taking hammers to their genitals. There's genocide going on in China. Some places in the world you could be murdered for being a gay person. And here we are spending an entire month all gaying out for Pride, celebrating rainbow flags. You know, I'm giving blowjobs out in the West Village just to show my support. Right? These gals in China are getting they're getting mutilated. Their genitals mutilated so they can't procreate. And you're taking a hammer and going, So we got to get back to showing a little respect for the country. Okay, a little respect. I digress. I don't watch the Olympics anyways, but I just need things to talk about, and that was something that came on my radar today. And YouTube, I don't know what's going on with the algorithm with YouTube, but today I was recommended a bolognese recipe. These were the 3 videos recommended to me today. A bolognese recipe, Lori Lightfoot speech, and some kind of mountain elk that climbs up the face of mountains. And that video is 3 years old, so I just don't know exactly what is behind the algorithms. I don't know. Maybe I got drunk the other day and I was like, I want to make a bolognese and watch videos of Lori Lightfoot, who I think maybe looks like an elk or so. I don't know, but something's wrong. There's got to be a glitch in the system. Let me ice down a little bit here, guys. I got an ice mocha. I've resettled in New York after my vacation in Montauk. It was lovely. Maybe here I'll throw a couple photos up for the YouTube version of this. Yeah, Montauk was so nice, and I would like to do a proper vacation at some point. Something that I've struggled with personally is deprivation. So I deprive myself of all sorts of things: medical attention, love, physical touch, money, vacations, underwear that isn't ripped. So that's been a mental block I've had. That's actually one of the 2 12-step programs I am in, which I haven't really been to in a while. But that's the thing about 12 steps. They're not going to throw you out if you don't show up every day, and you can do it however you want. There's Zoom meetings, there's this and that. But anyways, one of the programs I'm in revolves around money. And I got in it because I realized I don't know money. I have no relationship with it. It's a toxic relationship. And my issue was I wasn't able to spend money on myself. Like I really don't. I definitely spend a lot on coffee, but it took me, God, I've wanted a green screen probably for like 6 years. It literally took me 6 years to even feel that I was worthy of buying a green screen. I mean, crazy, really mental block shit. And so one of these programs I'm in helps me essentially. It's a support group. That's what these are. You have people there, and you all support each other. But what's interesting is they encourage you to spend money on yourself. So when I was in this program, and I really fell out of my programs a little bit since the pandemic because I need to be in a room with people. I feed off energy. I need to kind of have that sort of accountability. And once it all moved to Zoom, I fell off a little bit, but that's okay. I forgive myself. Okay, I forgive myself. But you meet with this, you meet in the 12-step room, but you also meet with a man and a woman and have these meetings where you go over all of your numbers. You're supposed to, say what you spent on food, on groceries, and you track your spending just to have some clarity and go, oh, maybe I do have an extra $1,000 laying around, or maybe I can shift some money around. And we're all like financial advisors towards each other, but none of us are necessarily professionals. So they sit down and they go, wait, you get a massage once a month? You should get a massage 4 times a month because you're a comedian and you're standing up and you're using your body, and your body is your tool. And, oh, you only spend $100, eating out every week? Spend $300. You're performing at all night long. You're in the city. So I was blown away to see how kind of supportive and how they motivated you or to motivate each other to actually spend money on yourself. So that's one thing that I'm working on, and I'd like to get back into that program to sort of pick up where I left off. But man, I was blown away that they're like, go spend money. I go, wait, I thought this is a program to get you to not spend money. But anyways, there's a lot of programs and there's help out there for all sorts of stuff. I mean, you can give it a Google, or as Mark Norman says, give it a Goog. All right, I'm gay. Happy Pride. But that program changed my life. I probably wouldn't have even started the podcast because once I got in there and I started tracking my money, and then I would feel a lot of shame about buying stuff. But then I would say, hey, you make phone calls and say, hey, I want to start this podcast. All right, so what would it go do some research? It's all data driven, right? It's like collect data. That's sort of one of the great principles is, okay, you don't have to just make a decision or do anything extreme. Start doing research, collect data, see what stuff costs, see how much money you have left over. Maybe don't get a pizza every night. Take a night off from pizza, and then you can buy a microphone. So slowly I started buying stuff that I needed. This is a preamp, and this is where I record all my voiceover auditions on this. And then I invested in the mic stand and the mic, and it's not much. I mean, we're looking at like maybe $250 worth of equipment. So part of that is going on more vacations. And Montauk was like a little starter for me. I rented a car and, had to pack a bag and bring clothes and do laundry and bring Fred's food and stuff. So it was a little like beginner vacation trip for me. And I feel like it saved my ass. Oh, yeah. Oh, it did. Because Friday was the phone call with that manager who told me they don't want me because I'm white. Yeah. Oh, no more whiteys and no more whiteys. We're only taking diverse people and women, yeah. So take a seat, yeah, take a seat, yeah. Give up your dreams and take a seat. So I think I would have kind of spun out of control after that. I probably would have been depressed and angry and maybe I don't know what I would have done. But I didn't do any of that because I went and took care of myself and got out of New York and got to disconnect from the energy and from all this shit. and I feel really, really rejuvenated. We have a sponsor for this episode. One of our amazing co-producers of the show, Lane, who is a patron and just a wonderful guy, and he's got something he wants to let you guys know of. So today we are sponsored by Lane Rao. Okay, he's a sales associate at Coldwell Banker Endeavor Realty in Anchorage, Alaska. Well, look at that, Anchorage, Alaska. Good old Anchorage, Alaska. And he'd like to assist you with your real estate needs. Are you moving? Are you relocating? Do you need to sell your home? Are you getting out of New York? If you're getting out of LA, I recommend you do. As soon as I'm ready, I'm calling Lane. Lane Rao can help you find a superior sales associate to assist you with your real estate needs anywhere in North America, not just Anchorage, Alaska, though that sounds beautiful. Through the Cardis Referral Network, Lane has contacts in thousands of communities. As an added service, Lane can arrange convenient home selection with a broker in your destination city. It's probably not New York. No one's moving here. This complimentary referral service is free of charge. Lane's getting the ad read when I have braces, so I'll probably give him 10% off. When I get the braces off, guys, I'll do even clearer ad reads. But for real results in real estate matters, you can find Lane Rao, sales associate at Coldwell Banker Endeavor Realty at lanerao.com. That's LANERAU.com. I repeat, that is Lane Rao, LANERAU.com. And it's a service everybody needs. You better call Lane. I voted on these policies. These are my policies, and Lane is carrying them out. We need more time, and Lane will give you more time to find the house you need. Now, I'm going to get in trouble if I take any questions. I'm going to get in trouble. Happy Pride. It's hard to say Happy Pride without sounding a little gay, isn't it? Me and my friends have just been saying it to each other. I called a friend the other day, and we said Happy Pride to each other. I don't know why. Neither of us are gay, but we both were like, Happy Pride. And I was like, it is kind of hard to say Happy Pride without sounding a little gay. And I think it's out of respect, maybe a little bit, right? You don't want to be like, Happy Pride. Ugh. Happy Pride. Yeah, just Happy Pride. No, you want to Happy Pride. You want to go like Happy Pride. You want to ride that little. You see what I'm doing here? Happy Pride. Happy Pride. And then a hard D at the end. Again, I grew up around gay men a lot, so this stuff is like, not all gay men sound like this. My dad doesn't. You would never know my dad is gay. You would never know my brother is gay. But most of the people we hung out with were very Happy Pride. And so I think I'm good at imitating that stuff. And so I made a video and did a gay character. I don't know. He was a gay character. You know what I mean? It sounds like you're not allowed to do that, right? In my head, it's like you're not allowed to do that. You can't do a gay character. You'll be canceled. But what inspired it was I did a show on, what was it? Maybe Sunday night? No, Thursday night. And did my act, pretty blatantly announced that I was straight through a series of jokes, where I talk about like dating women and stuff and having sex with women. And a guy, he was a sweet guy, but he DM'd me on Instagram and was like, look, I don't know if you're gay or not, but if you want to come celebrate Pride tonight, hit me up. What he was saying was, I know you're not gay, because he knew I wasn't gay. What he was saying was, I don't know how desperate you are, but I'm willing to suck your D. And I didn't screenshot it in time, and then I was going to screenshot it and post it without his name on it, because again, the guy was very, very sweet, and I probably would have sucked his dick, but he blocked me. No, he deleted the message, so it disappeared, but it inspired me to make this video, and so here it is. Basically, this is a video of a gay gentleman saying, look, straight men, this is the best way to support for Pride. So here this is. All right, so there that is. Yeah, you get the rainbow filter. It's great on what did I do that on TikTok? I did that on the old TikTok, and I thought it was fun. It's all in good fun. It's just it's so funny that I have these unwritten rules. We all do that you can't make fun of certain groups. So, anyways, that was inspired by the gay guy who tried to fuck me a few nights ago. And it got an interesting reaction. Most people liked it because most people have a sense of humor. But I got the old, you're a homophobe, you fucking piece of shit, you fucking straight white cunt, you're a real fucking Stewart. And, part of it is, I'm in this area where I have to just make fun of everything, even if it's not funny. I think that was pretty funny, but I have to just make fun of everything just as a practice to really make sure I'm not censoring myself, because I really think you can make fun of anybody and everybody, and it's out of love too. You know what I mean? It's like, again, if I showed that or did that to the men that I grew up with, and I love these guys, the men that my dad dated, I got really close to some of his partners, and they were repressed gay men. A lot of them were married, a lot of them had kids, and then came out later in life. So they're interesting guys, and they went through a lot, and I really have pretty deep feelings for some of these guys, and including my dad's current partner, who I love so much. He's feels like he kind of almost brought our family together in a way. But we just make fun of each other. They made fun of straight people. We made fun of gay people together. They made fun of lesbians a lot. And I think part of joking around with people and negging them and roasting them is out of love, That's a good portion of when you hang out with your friends. You make fun of each other. You make fun of each other's quirks and their physical characteristics. And of course, it can go too far, and you could be mean. But this was all out of good fun, and I feel fine about it. And and it actually, what's great is a lot of people didn't know it was a joke. They thought I was like really a gay guy who's like, you straight fucks better suck my dick for pride, or you're a Nazi. And so a lot of people were retweeting it. Let's see. Let's check it out on Twitter right now. I think it's really kind of man. It's so funny to watch my Twitter following just tank and then shoot up. Like, I put out a video and it'll just dip down like 20, 30, 40 followers, and I'll put another one. It's been hovering around 7,700 followers, and it'll just go up and down. But the video I did, I mean, over 10,000 views on Twitter, but a lot of the people think that it was a serious character. So, hey, this is also a fun acting exercise for me, because I'm not really acting right now, so I might as well fucking put on some gay rainbow filter on TikTok and do a quick little acting gig for Pride Month. Another guy, I'm going to have to show this. Another guy on TikTok, I think he's like, yeah, Republican, whatever, Trump supporter, probably a great guy, but you could do a duet on TikTok where you show somebody's video and then you have your face next to them and you respond or you talk over it. But I thought this was hilarious because the guy almost was slightly feminine. Is it effeminate or feminine? Fred, can you check that? Oh, Fred's passed out. Doodles don't do good in the heat, I tell you. They didn't tell me that when I picked them up. He did this response, so I'll play that for you right now. Here's this big bearded MAGA guy responding and saying he's not going to put up with these kind of demands from liberals. So I'll play that right now.
Desperate gay man, and offer your body up to him to do what he pleases.
How about no? We don't have to submit to you. Make me. How about that?
That guy's hilarious to me. I'll have to look at his videos. I don't think he's a comedian, but he just so much expression. Make me. How about you make me? And he did this kind of like, you better fucking come force it in me or something. So anyhow, it's Pride Month, and you've got 2 days left to offer your body up. And what I'll say about Pride Month, and I'm not going to be celebrating these months anymore. And I'll tell you why. Because I think it makes people lazy. And I think it gives corporations the ability to just make these quick little virtue signals, and they go, Pride Month, happy Pride Month, here's your flag, here's your filter, here's your rainbow fucking cookies or whatever, and then you're done. And I think we need to get back to a place in our country where it's not like, this group gets this month, this group gets this day, non-binary Wednesday, and gender fluid Friday, and it's like, no, we need to get back to having all year round, 365 days of everybody doing them, whatever that is, and all of us kind of staying out of each other's business. That doesn't mean you get to discriminate somebody or harm them or fight them or write hate speech on their profile based on who they identify as. But I think we got to get back to a place of, for God's sakes, just enough with the group stuff. That I don't know. I don't even. I can't. I'm not even gonna say I love all gay people. I don't love all straight people. My ex-girlfriend led me to nearly fucking killing myself. She was a cis straight woman. She was a cis woman. Enough of this. We have to go back to judging people and treating people based on their character, based on how they treat you, based on your relationship, and not on this group stuff. And I think that's why a lot of people would just go, oh, that's homophobic because you're a straight guy pretending to be a gay guy in a joke. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. If they didn't treat these identities so strongly, then they wouldn't care. You know what I mean? There's people make fun of straight people all the time, and unless it's not harmful or discrimination, like I don't want straight people or white people working anymore, that's different than just making a joke. I mean, for fuck's sake, the amount of jokes I hear about white people, straight people, men on stage, it's like 90% of the jokes now are just nailing into us. And if the jokes are funny, I laugh. I sit and I watch all of it, and if it's funny, I laugh. And you can tell when it crosses a line to wanting to punish somebody or take part in some kind of hate speech. So yeah, I'm not for these months anymore. I'm not going to be doing any sort of blatant, I guess, celebration. I mean, if there's, one of my best friends in the world is gay, and I want to just treat him nice all the time and not have to, and he knows that. We treat each other great, and it has nothing to do with our identity. We don't talk about being gay or straight. If he goes on a date with someone, I want to know what, how was the date? What happened? How big was his penis? He'll just, I don't ask him, he'll just tell me or send me a picture, but that's what we talk about. And we're like, you know what I mean? So there you go. My dad's gay. My brother's gay. My best friend is gay. I'm probably gay. Look at these suspenders. I'm just dying to come on. I am the gayest straight person you will ever meet. I guarantee it. I am. I just am. You know what I do during my free time? I fucking cook. I listen to musicals. I do really gay stuff. And is it stereotypical gay stuff? Maybe. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's just stuff more gay men do than not. But you know what I mean? So I'm very gay. I'm very pro-gay, but I'm just not playing the identity game anymore. And I'm going to see Phantom of the Opera tonight, so I'm going to wrap this up. No, I'm kidding. Though I am due for a Phantom screening. But something I was thinking about that I've thought a lot about in this, look at this. People just, there's no laws. There's no laws out there. It's brutal. I'm going to be calling Lane as soon as I have enough money to buy a house in Anchorage, Alaska. Brutal. And you know what I've been doing lately? I've been thanking cops for their service. That's what I've been doing. I talk to as many police as I can when I'm sitting on the subway platform or this or that, and I give them a hey, thank you for your service. That's it. I just say thank you for your service, because a lot of people think cops aren't working. And if you are sitting somewhere publicly in New York City or some kind of big city, and you're not being raped or murdered or stabbed or robbed, that means the police are actually working. Because without the police, there are people waiting in the wings to rape, rob, stab, and murder you. That's just the way it is. That's the way it is. So because you don't see them just like walking around going, hey, gotcha, hey, come here, bad guy, throwing nets on people, doesn't mean they're not working. Their presence, the fact that they are just stationed around. When you're in the car and you see a cop, you just go, okay, I'm going to just chill out a little. Take my foot off the gas. You know what I mean? Maybe take that fentanyl needle out of my arm. All right, maybe have the prostitute lay low in the back seat a little bit. We all just are kind of cautious, no matter what color you are. I'm terrified of the police as well, but it's more just because I'm like, I want to make sure I'm obeying the law. And without that, tyranny. And this is what I propose. I am proposing, before we elect the next mayor of New York City, we do 24 hours without any police. Yes, that's right. 24 hours. I want 24 hours, no police, and anything you do within those 24 hours, you can't be arrested for, you can't be punished for, you can't be jailed for. 24 hours. And I know there's going to be a lot of problems, but I think it'll end the conversation about abolishing the police. Forget defunding right now. Let's talk about the people who want to abolish the police. I know smart people, good people that constantly are calling to end police as we know it. And I mean, they want to have no police. I voted for these policies. Here's a racial jungle. I want my kids growing up in a racial jungle. Come on, man. I mean, Joe Biden said that at one point. He said he didn't want his kids growing up in a racial jungle. But, who knows? Who cares about that anymore? So I'm calling for 24 hours, no police. And a lot of people will die. A lot of people get murdered. A lot of people get stabbed, this, that, and the other. And we will lose a lot of people. But I think in the long run, we'll actually save a lot of people, because that will be the last time we discuss it. That'll be the last time. And I think next time we'll just go, well, I remember that time when we had no police and I lost Grandma and my wife and my kids and half of my friends are gone from that 24-hour debacle. I don't think anyone will talk about it again. So that's what we do. 24 hours, no police. Then you go out and vote. Then you go look and see which Sally, Jane, Jack, or John is looking to defund the police by $8 billion or some shit. So I'm proposing it. That's what I'm proposing. Now, let's talk about homophobia for a second. This is going to get weird. Okay. Trigger warning. Trigger warnings make things worse. Studies have shown. Because now everybody gets on edge and stuff. So I am melting right now to begin with. But I have an interesting, strange relationship with gay men and homophobia. And let me explain. My dad knew he was gay since he was a kid. And I asked him that once, and he panicked because I think he thought I was coming out. Because I go, Dad, we never he came out and we never talked about him being gay ever again. And then one day we're in the car and I go, Dad, when did you know you were gay? And he was like, oh God. And I saw his face, and I think he thought I was going to be like, because I think I'm feeling a little gay. I just went into a voice that I'm not sure I could even say I just auditioned for. But I auditioned for a voice from a movie, animated movie. And the actor, I don't think, is going to be doing that role anymore, so they need a replacement. So I auditioned. I hope my braces didn't fuck up the audition, but he kind of talks like this a little bit. So I think we're going to have a really good time. And I love hugs. Oh, I love hugs. I love warm hugs. Do you love hugs? Do you know what character it is? That's all I'm going to do. But I just auditioned to be the replacement for that character from that animated movie. And I think they're going to be maybe doing another project. I'm never sure how much I'm allowed to say about this. Sometimes they make you sign a non-disclosure agreement, which is what I do when I go on Tinder dates for my protection. And, you know, these are the auditions I'm doing now, or voice, because they don't have to see your skin color. It's really a bit of a miracle, because it keeps me in the game a little bit. It's not classic acting, but you're still acting. You're still acting with your voice, so it's kind of keeping me afloat. Okay, back to homophobia. You can hear that I can hardly breathe. I mean, the humidity level in here. My relationship with homophobia. I'm not homophobic at all. But what I realized is I wouldn't be alive today if it wasn't for homophobia. Because my dad knew he was gay when he was a kid. He wasn't able to come out. And if it wasn't for that level of homophobia at that point in time, he would have just come out as gay, been supported by his family and his friends, and he wouldn't have gotten married and had kids. He only had kids and got married because of social pressure, because that's what you did. And that's probably a pretty good way to try to stuff down or hide the fact that you're gay, by getting married to a beautiful woman and having 3 sexy-ass kids. Bang, 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 bang. So it's like, I'm not for homophobia, but also like, credit where credit's due. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it wasn't for these people, you wouldn't be listening to this podcast. You wouldn't even be listening to it or giving me any warm hugs. I wouldn't be alive at all. I would just be melting. And I think I am melting. I'm flurrying away. So, where does that leave me? It's kind of fucked up my head a lot over the years, because I go, man, I made it in the nick of time, you know? So, again, I am very anti-homophobia, and I would condemn anyone who takes part in homophobia, but, like, again, credit where credit's due. So, if I see somebody who's mildly homophobic, and I don't think people are really that outwardly homophobic anymore, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just what I've noticed over the time. Because, you know, I spend a lot of time with gay people who are on, you know, holding hands with gay men, or, you know, seeing my dad kiss another man in public, and remembering how people, like, those reactions being in a small town. And I've just seen those things ease up, given I do live in liberal-ass New York. But if I see, let's say I see 2 guys kissing, and, you know, some maybe old 80-year-old who's just got the built-in homophobia, it kind of goes like, oh, God, look at this. Of course, cops are coming. Again, every time I try to tell a joke, they send... Okay, we'll wait. So, every time I see a guy showing a little bit of homophobia, I'll scold him right in front of the gay men, let him know, hey, I'm not okay with this, I'm speaking out. And I'll go, hey, don't make that face at them. These are 2 gay men living their lives. Let them do what they want. You live your life. And I go, hey, fellas, come on, go on your way. I'll take care of this fucking asshole. And I go, hey, man, you look at me, while they're in an earshot. I go, hey, that's enough, okay? Why don't you focus on your damn life and let these guys do what they want? And then when the 2 gay guys walk away, I look at the guy and I go, but thank you for your service. I mean, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So enough, okay? Enough, but also, you know, thank you for your service. Happy Pride. So isn't that weird? That is some weird, wild stuff. Now let me just kind of break down what he did, what Tyler did there. And he said he's not homophobic, right? That's weird, wild stuff. He's not homophobic, but he also recognizes that he wouldn't be born if it weren't for homophobia in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. So that is weird, wild stuff. And these are the kinds of things you're going to get at the Tyler Fischer Show. We'll be right back after these messages. Speaking of Johnny Carson, a quick little tribute to Conan O'Brien, who just had his final show, and a real end of an era for late-night talk show hosts. He was the last of the Mohegans. Conan O'Brien, whatever you think of him, the guy is a committal, talented comedian. He doesn't bring politics into it. He just puts on a good show. He comes with the jokes. You never see him phone it in. He's on. He's sharp. He's witty. He's quick. He's had a crazy good history of writing for The Simpsons and SNL. And I used to love his show. I don't watch it so much anymore just because I don't really watch TV. But it's kind of crazy. I guess it would be like Johnny Carson retiring back when, whenever that was, late 80s, early 90s. So there are no more late night talk show hosts like him, and there may never be again. I hope so, but the way things are looking right now with this sort of, just appeasing big tech, big corporations, staying in the lane, staying woke and not taking risks and wearing your politics on your sleeve, which a lot of these late night talk shows hosts do, or they're just too safe or too phony or whatever it is. I thought he had a good mix of being authentic and quirky and kooky and energized and gracious to his guests. He did what Carson did. He helped make the guests funnier. He didn't always make it about him. He'd throw something in, but he always kept it on the guest. And so thank you to Conan O'Brien for inspiring some young new comics. He probably had a pretty big impact on me being a comedian. He definitely played a part in it, as did Dana Carvey. And Dana Carvey was on the other night doing a little bit of the Beatles. He's talking the Beatles, Did you know, John? Did you know I did a little duet with Kanye? A little duet? And he goes to this whole bit. And so, God, I gotta let the dream die, because that was, I kind of started to get some seeds of submitting for Conan. It never happened. When I got denied from Jimmy Kimmel, they said, but all right, you can't do our show, but we'll help you get onto Conan. Never happened. And then a celebrity said he was going to help me get on. Never happened. And then a comedy club owner said he was going to help me get on, and it never happened. These are the carrots people dangle. It's fine. That's why I'm here doing this podcast, and I love all you guys, because it makes it a lot easier to have this and then not have to really suffer while watching the dream die of doing stand-up on Conan or any of those shows. So, c'est la vie, la di, da, da, da. What else? I asked a girl on a date last night. I've kind of been shying away from that. I got rejected a few times, doing some cold calls, talking to gals in the park and after shows and this and that. And then I went my little turtle shell again, Tyler's little turtle shell. And then I met a gal who worked at a restaurant, and we really hit it off. She gave me her t-shirt. I was like, wow, I love that. I like your restaurant, and I love that t-shirt. And she goes, I have like 3 of them. She goes, take one. I said, because I think we're the same size. That was kind of how I was joking around, and it wasn't a joke because she's the same size as me. And I go, I bet I could wear one of your shirts, if you ever want to get rid of them. And she gave me a shirt. She literally like looked to see if her boss was looking. She gave me a shirt for her restaurant. And I thought that was so sweet. And I kind of like pussied out, I guess you can say, and didn't ask her out that night, because I also feel weird about asking people out in their place of work. So I left, and I let time go by, and I thought I really had a nice time chatting with her. She was fun and bubbly, and sometimes, just like bartenders will do, they'll put it on a little bit to get a good tip. And I asked out a waitress who actually said she was interested in going out on me a few weeks ago. Gave her a nice tip. I gave her a pretty good tip. I mean, this was a hefty piece of tip here. And she ghosted me, and I go, oh, she played me like a fiddle for that fucking tip. I mean, good on her, I guess. Good actor. So last night I'm thinking about this gal, and I'm wearing the shirt of the restaurant, and I go, what if I go to the restaurant in the shirt? You know what I mean? Like, what if I just go and walk in with the shirt? I didn't even know if she was working. This was at 11:35 p.m. last night. I was starving, and I go, rent a scooter. It was like a 20-minute drive. The things I don't want to do anymore, and go, oh, I got to put all this effort in and stuff. But I go, just do it. Just do it. You want a girlfriend, you want a wife, you want a family. And maybe a gay piece on the side, just to have some fun. So I drive over there in the shirt. I don't even know if she's working. I walk in and I see her. She turns around, sees me in the shirt, and I go, huh? I got the shirt. I turned to Larry David. I go, it's the shirt you got me. It's pretty good. Oh, I love the shirt. And she just like put her hand over her mouth and started giggling. And she's like, oh my God, that's, I guess she thought it was funny. And so I sat down and I ordered, and we made small talk. And then what I do now too is I reach out to friends for support. I get really nervous. I get nervous about these things. I don't even know if she identifies as a woman. She could identify as a non-binary, non-homogenized turtle who's into polyamory. She's fucking all the turtles. So I texted a friend. I said, hey, I'm going to ask this woman out on a sober date. And call it a sober date because it's what I do to convey I'm interested in somebody. Like, not like, hey, I'm going to ask her out for drinks after her shift at 3 a.m. That could just lead to meaningless sex. No, a sober date to me is like, we'll go out during the day, during the daylight, so we both feel comfortable. And also, like, I deserve to feel safe too. Like, I always think like I have to make the woman feel safe, but I also want to feel safe and feel like I'm getting to know this person in a genuine way when there's no alcohol involved. And sober means, it doesn't even necessarily mean sober alcoholically. It means sober healthy, just sober from, whatever it may be. Sex or alcohol or drugs. It's like, I decide I'm going to ask her out to go for a walk in the park with my dog, and that would be a healthy, sober date. And if you're really interested in somebody, I think it is good to go slow like that because, if you're drinking, you don't know what's going to happen, and you may cross the line. They may, show that they're sexually interested in you, and they may not be, or vice versa. So I got some support. So step one was reaching out to a friend, going, "Hey man, I'm gaining the courage. I'm eating eggs and bacon right now, and I'm really getting that, fresh OJ. I'm getting some liquid courage. I'm going to ask her on a sober date." And my friend reached out and said, "Yeah, man, like go get it. Good job, do it." So I got the support, and then I went up to her and I said, "Hey, what do you do on your days off? If you'd like to go for a walk with me and my dog in the park." And she said, "I'd love to." And then I got really self-conscious because I go, "Oh my God," I said, "should I not be doing this in public? Like, you're at work. Am I crossing a line? Am I being rude? I'm really sorry." I just turned to Woody Allen. "Oh, great. Now your boss is looking at you. And, oh man, you're not even Asian. You're not even my family, but I just very attracted. Maybe you have COVID or STDs, but I'm not even wearing a mask." She said, "I'd love to." And I go, so I'll write my number down. I wrote it on a brown paper bag and kind of hid it on the table to make it, inconspicuous. Anyways, she hasn't reached out yet. We'll see what happens. But I feel like when I'm talking to women, I feel a little bit like, what's his name? Travis from Taxi Driver. I don't know why. The scene when he walks in and the girl's at her campaign headquarters and he's like, what? Well, maybe we can go get a piece of pie and some coffee. I think you're really lonely. And I have this element of like, people think I'm a creep just for asking a woman out. And I think that's a product of society with the toxic shaming and male shaming and all this stuff. So it's okay. I can feel that and also like start to unravel it a little bit and build up my confidence. So anyways, it wasn't like quite like Taxi Driver, as in like it didn't end with me like shooting a prostitute and getting shot and like trying to save a 15-year-old girl from prostitution. So TBD, to be determined. The story hasn't ended yet, so it could end that way. This woman could be 15 and I can go end up shooting up the... Look, forget about all the things I just said. I am having a heat stroke right now. So I will save the rest for the next episode because I had a new impression I wanted to work on, but I am literally physically and mentally melting right now, and I don't want to put you through that. So what I will leave you with is a big thank you to everybody for listening. Big thank you to everybody who supports on Patreon. And again, if you'd like to come to my Zoom show, that's where I try some new jokes. I talk to you guys. You can ask me questions. It's really a hang. It's like a fun hang, and And I just love it. And so that'll be on Wednesday, this Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, patreon.com/Tyler Talks. And the Zoom link is right there. So you just click that link on Wednesday. You can, I'll probably open the meeting or the show like 7:50. Hang out. We can chat, catch up. Let me know what's going on with you. Come up with some new jokes. If there's anything you guys want to hear, I'll do it. And I'll bring some comics on. And then after the show, like I mentioned, I will be doing a sketch with you guys if you want to be a part of it, for any patrons that want to be part of it, which involves, you know what? I'm not even going to tell you who it is, right? But I could just say it's going to be brutal. And we're shooting it on a Wednesday. All right, dude. Have a good fucking day. All right? It is so fucking hot. Speaking of oppression, this is the real oppression. This goddamn heat. I'll see you soon. All right? Happy Monday. Happy Monday!